about well, the first segment I'd like to share with you an interesting blog that I read just a day or two ago. Um, Actually, it's a reporter. Her name is Brooke Howell, and she's attending the National Association of Women Business Owners Women's Business Conference. It was being held in Louisville, Kentucky, and she was blogging live from there. And she had a very good blog, caught my attention. And I want to share some of the ideas with you. The title was Be Yourself. It's Good for Business. And this was an address, I guess it was given at the gathering. A woman by the name of Michelle Villa Villalobos was speaking. That was her topic. Be yourself. It's good for business. And as I read it, I said, well, geez, that's certainly true for anybody that's in business now, but it's also very appropriate for people who are going to start a business. If you're already in business and doing it, if you know these things as you're starting a business, it might make the challenges of starting a business uh, a little more simple for yourself. So let's see what you had to say. Premium brands such as moving, you want to be a celebrity in your field so that people are adding you by name or asking for you by name. When you're top of mind in your field, you get more referrals. To that point, that's a great point. I have been noted as a premier expert, an America premier expert, an emerging leader, a business leader to watch. And SmallBizDavid is right there on the back page. This happened back in February in USA Today. You've got Peyton Manning on, actually, that's Eli Manning. Eli Manning on the front and SmallBizDavid on the back. That's exciting. I was being positioned by the America's premier experts as an expert on starting businesses because I've been doing it for myself and with friends and other folks for over 40 years now. Not just necessarily starting the business, but taking a business from this position and trying to take it to this position, enhancing the position of that business. But there's definitely parallels about starting a business and growing an existing one. So let's see what Michelle had to say and see how appropriate it is to starting a business. Uh, if you don't brand yourself, then others will do it for you. So it's very important for you to take control of that process of branding yourself. Number one, begin from within. You have to start by figuring out who you are before you can build a brand. Who are you? What are you all about? What do you stand for? What are your values? What type of value can you bring to somebody else's life? So it starts from a self-analysis, begin from within. She says focus on the PITs. I say three P's, but she says PITs. Passion, that's actually my first P. Interests and talents, PIT. Passion, interests, and talents that make you who you are. Okay, that's point number one. Point number two, ask what's your red soul. They use the expression red soul because that was something that Christian Louboutin has a trademark. Actually, got a court decision to allow him to create an enforceable trademark on red soled shoes. SOLED, red soled shoes. With a few exceptions, he is the only one who can sell red sole shoes. Wow! How powerful that is. He's the only one that can do it. But he did it for himself. So essentially, Michelle and uh, Brooke, who reported this, as find out what is your red soul. What is it that differentiates you and makes you very special, so that someone would want to buy your good or your service. Point number 3: own your name. Um, how very important it is to own your name. It might get challenged. Someone else might try to use your name, and that's why you want to own it. And there's different things that you can do to own your name. The way that I own my name, which is SmallBizDavid, I created a company called SmallBizDavid Foundation LLC. It cost me about $500 to create that LLC, but that was step number 1 that I took to own my name. And what is the primary asset of the SmallBizDavid Foundation? That's ownership of David's Barter community, davidsbarter.com. Obviously, um, when I bought the domain name, that created my ownership of the domain name, davidsbarter.com. But I wanted to also tie that into the SmallBizDavid Foundation, and David's Barter and SmallBizDavid work together. Now, what is the value of both those names, entities? The simple answer to the value is Google David's Barter, all one word, or Google SmallBizDavid and put it in quotation marks, and you will see the value that I have been able to create for that brand, for that name, because the Google search results on either one of those are page after page after page of search results with everything that I do or say online is found in my page results. So very clearly, I've been able to not only establish ownership, I've been able to expand the concept and make it something workable and doable, something of value. When you go, and not only in Google, but when you do a big search of David's Barter or SmallBizDavid, in quotation marks, and I can't tell you for sure why you have to put it in quotation marks, but you do. Well, initially when I began to market that name, market that brand, the Google search engines were reading it Small Biz space David, not SmallBizDavid, all one word. The only way they were going to read it as one word was for me to put it in quotation marks. Because when I just had SmallBizDavid, and the search engines, for some reason we cannot explain, had Small Biz space David, it wasn't only my search results, it was a very, very good marketer also. His name is David. Actually, there's 2 of them. There's a David Wolf, and there's another David Leopold, now that I think about it. And both of those individuals have been able to play off of my name, SmallBizDavid. But that's okay. I don't think I never would want to stop either one of them from using that. They can't call themselves Small Biz David all one word. That they can't do because that is using my name. But if the search engine interprets it as Small Biz Space David, then so be it. So I had to really figure that out, and it was fun. And once we figured it out back in February, uh, no problems whatsoever. So own your own name. Uh, Number 4, create your look. How does that happen? Well, it happened with my avatar. Another, it's every place but came. It's in my avatar. You can see it somewhere on Stickam. You certainly see it at Google Plus and YouTube. My avatar is my look. It's actually the way that avatar was created. An artist, his name was Aaron. He took a picture of me, and I was actually holding 2 books. I was holding this book, which I wrote chapter 23 in. I was holding this book, which I wrote myself and published it myself, marketed it myself. And I had a picture, and Aaron took that picture, and he created the avatar that you see. So that's my look, and it's very important because I use that when profiles, community profiles, ask for a picture. If you want a picture of me, go to my YouTube, and you'll see 360 pictures of me sitting right here where I am right now. I'd rather have that avatar, which ties into David's Barter community. Okay, point number 5, post valuable content. Very, very important. And you know that the way that I post, not so much in writing. I do very little actual writing where I write something out and I post it. I do occasionally, but not much. Once a month I will. But my means of posting is with video because I believe the video is infinitely more powerful than that of just writing something down. When you can hear and feel how somebody says something or what they're saying, what they're meaning, you get that in the video. You don't get that in the written word. In the written word, you read something, and then you interpret what you think that person is saying, what you think that person is feeling. But when they do a video on it, there's no question as to what they're thinking and feeling. Okay, point number 6. Start something big. Start a business. Start a business and make it big. Number 7, speak in public. That's an important idea, and I used to do a lot of public speaking. In the 90s, I was branded as an expert in direct marketing, specifically in the insurance industry. So I was asked to speak at many public events around the country, if it had to do with direct marketing, if it had to do with insurance. Then that changed a little bit. I didn't do a lot of speaking in the 80s. Did a lot of direct mail in the 80s. Didn't do a lot of speaking in the 80s. In the 90s, well, that's when I was doing my my thing on direct marketing and insurance in the 90s. And after, it was about 2002, 2003, I became an expert, more of a local expert on business and small business, and my reputation was in Cincinnati, where I lived, Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, and I started to do more public speaking. But today, I don't do any public speaking anymore. Someone might invite me to do a presentation. I would consider it, whether or not I would do it. It would be a timing thing and a value thing to me, a valuable use of my time. But I do spend over approximately 20 hours a week doing speaking in the form of videos, live streaming at stickham.com, recorded at YouTube, and posted at davidsbarter.com on our community bulletin board. By the way, at our community bulletin board and on individual landing pages, we have made share buttons. We've refined the technology of share buttons, making it very easy for you to share anything that you create with well, actually almost anybody. We've got the prominent ones are, like everybody else, are Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google+. Then there's another share button. It's a drop down where there's about 25 or 30 or 40 or 50 other places where you can share that information. The sharing of information right now is one of the most important things that you can do for your business. Search engines love it. They love it. And that's what then establishes you as an expert in what it is that you do. And then when other people share your information with their networks, that even makes it more powerful. So not only do you want to create the information, you want to share it and hope that it is such good information that with whomever you're sharing it, they share it with other folks. That's the power. Fire clients. Great thing. Why would you want to fire a client? Actually, I didn't do enough of that in my life. I would have done a better job, and if I had fired clients. You want to fire a client because they're not profitable to you. They might be a good friend, but they might be sucking up a lot of your resources, and when they're sucking it up, somebody else who would be more profitable to you you're not pursuing that because you don't have time to do it. Your time is tied up elsewhere. So it's extremely important for you to take a look at who your clients are, who you're doing business with, and if they're not reaching a certain margin of profitability, fire them nicely. Tell them, it's not that I don't want to work with you. I think that so-and-so. Find somebody else where they can get the same kind of service. And, I think you can work better with so-and-so. And then in doing that, that so-and-so then owes you a favor of bringing some potentially higher profitable clients to you. Raise prices. That's a great one. You don't raise prices just for the sake of raising prices. You raise prices because you're bringing value, additional value to your product, to your service, and that's why you raise prices. When price becomes a topic of discussion, if somebody challenges you on price, you will never win that argument. So politely make a statement about value and then get ready to move on. When people are pushing you for price, you don't want to do business with them if they're pushing you on price. It's the value that you can bring, and there is no standard pricing on value. And finally, number 10, prepare for haters. Haters! Unfortunately, there are haters everywhere. When you set out to establish and promote a strong brand, there will be haters. But there will be people who love you more, and they're the same ones who count. Oh, and they're the ones, not the same ones. They're the ones who count. Thank you to Michelle Villalobos for her wonderful, thought-provoking blog, and to Brooke Howell to reporting on that. And our next segment is going to be about how writing a book is very similar to starting a business, the similarities, and you can start your business by writing a book.